Hey class, welcome to Accounting 1310. I wanted to do a quick orientation video to help you kind of get your bearings and hit the ground running. So I like to look at these classes through the modules. First of all, you can see that there's an Ask Me area, so you can ask me questions here. This doesn't count towards engagement, but you can definitely ask me questions there if you want to, or you can email me. There's also the, or actually you can call me too. I have my phone number listed in the faculty information. But usually the easiest way to deal with getting questions from me is through email. That way I can access the information to help you out. There's an introduction area for you to give an introduction to yourself. So pretty standard stuff there. Then in the get started area, there's an assignment summary, so I'm going to look at that first. So in the assignment summary, you can see there's all 8 modules listed out, 1,000 points in the class. And what you'll see is that from module 1 through module 6, they're all pretty much the same as far as how the assignments and the points are set up. You have you have an assignment for each chapter. Then you have case 1, which is Kelly's Boutique, and that's for each of the 6. And then you have case 2, which is Wine Depot, which is for each of the 6. You get points for answering an assignment, doing discussion questions, 2 cases, and then the engagement. Notice that these are due throughout the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Engagement, is due multiple days. In other words, that's taking part in class on a regular basis. And then at the very end, you have modules 7 and 8. You have practice sets, which are 2 other case studies, SNCS Boards and Rosie's Roses, and they use information from chapters 2 through 7. These are going to be due over 6 days for the last 2 modules. We'll talk more about this, but just kind of giving you an overview. So one thing that I want to start with is just looking at the institutional policies. In the institutional policies, you'll see the grading scale. You'll see a lot of other information. One thing I want to point out is the late policy. As a standard, late work will not be accepted. This is really important for this class because of the way they spread the work out over the week, and you have a lot of little assignments due on multiple days per week. These must be turned in on time. Late work will not be accepted per the school policy, and that's the only fair way to do it. If it's the policy for all the students, then all the students have to follow the policy. Extenuating circumstances would be allowed, but those extenuating circumstances would be a situation beyond the student's control, such as an unexpected hospitalization, that kind of thing. So it would have to be something severe. Just want to make sure that's out of the way so you're aware of the policy from the beginning. Going back to the modules, you'll see, for example, in module 1, you'll have your discussion questions first, your assignment, and then you have your 2 cases. And then you have your engagement. Let's start with engagement. So looking in the engagement module, what you have to do is you have to answer each of the required discussion threads. Now, in module 1, there's only 1 required discussion thread. That's great. Some modules will have more than 1. You'll have to answer this module, answer the question completely, and then you'll have to respond to at least 2 students. Sorry about that little notification there. 2 students in the discussion threads, and they have to be substantive responses. In other words, they can't be like, you did a good job. You have to make comments that carry forward the conversation. And you should post at least 3 of 7 days. If you do all of this and feel that your responses are substantive in nature, you'll get up to 20 points. Going back, you'll see your assignment and your discussion questions, your assignment, and your 2 cases. These will be found in the textbook. The textbook, you can find information. I just saw it a second ago. Here it is. Here's the textbook. If you got it from the school, then you shouldn't have any trouble with it. I'm going to go ahead and open the textbook with using a digital version of our textbook. It's the same thing, just so you can see it on the computer. Now you'll note in our work that chapter 1 is not required. The homework starts with chapter 2. However, you might want to do or read through chapter 1. It's not very long, and it gives you an overview of Excel. They call it an Excel tour. But the assignments we have start in chapter 2, so that will definitely be, necessary. So after you read through chapter 2, for Wednesday, they have your first assignment. So you can find the assignments. Well, the discussion questions aren't due till Thursday, but you can find the assignments and discussion questions here. Let's just start with the one that comes first in the textbook. So here's your discussion questions. But some of these discussion questions are used for the chapter, and then again, some of the discussion questions of the chapter are different from what you see in the textbook. So just whatever it says in the chapter, in the class, in the discussion question section, those are the questions you need to answer. So whatever it says here is what you need to answer. I just wanted to point out that even though you see discussion questions in the textbook and here, they might be the same, they might be a little bit different, they might be totally different. Just use whatever's here. Now the assignments won't be different. So first we have the assignment starting here. I'll go over this in more detail. I just want to show you where it is. This is all I'm doing here. You have Kelly's Boutique. Here's Kelly's Boutique. That's the case. Wine Depot is the case. Let's look back at the practice sets. So looking at the practice sets in Module 7 and 8, you see SNCCs and Rosie's from all the chapters that we cover. And you can find that Chapter 2 SNCCs information, Chapter 2 Rosie's information. So at this point, I'm just trying to show you, where to find the work. In order to do these assignments, you're going to see that they're going to ask you for Excel data sets. So if you go to the data sets, you'll notice them there here. Now, we don't do chapter 1, so they provided this, but you shouldn't need that one, but it's there. But the ones that you'll need are 2 through 7. You can download them all immediately. Then when you're looking at one of the assignments, this one is for SNCCs. You see how it says save the file as chapter 2-7. So you can find that data set in the chapter 2 data set. So you can find whenever they're asking you in the textbook, and you see something start with worksheet 2-7, you'll find that in the data set here for chapter 2. So one of the things that I guess we've gone over everything we need to go over. I've talked about the engagement, about the discussion questions, the assignment, the case studies. These last 2 modules are open for you, even though they're not due until module 7 and 8. Because we're going through chapter 2 through 7, I've gone ahead and opened them for you so that you can submit the work if you want to as you go through each week. That might really help you out in the last 2 modules, and that way you don't run into a problem when you get at the end of the term and you don't have any way or you don't have enough time to deal with it. So I'm going to leave those open for you throughout the week, and then you'll see the other modules come open as they're due. Module 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will start to open up each week. And as you can see here, all these modules are due in the week which they'll open. Module 7 and 8, which is due at the end of the term, I will let you turn those, work on those earlier so that you kind of pace yourself with the practice sets. Okay, make sure you read all of my announcements and watch any video I provide for you. It's really important because I do these videos and announcements to save you time and give you tips and help. And you really have to definitely watch these. Okay, best of luck.